Hello there, you're watching Nightline. I'm Anita Wu. News making the headlines. Health Ministry detects new COVID-19 cluster at Satya Alam construction site. And school bus operators have no right to demand fees during the MCO period. We begin with our headlining story. A new COVID-19 cluster was detected at a construction site in Satya Alam, Selangor, involving foreign workers. Health Director General Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah said in a statement on Saturday that there are 15 Bangladeshis who have tested positive so far. The cluster was first detected after a private hospital tested 5 foreign workers on May 6th. The workers were supposed to return to work when 3 Bangladeshis tested positive. The 3 had been sharing accommodation with 18 others. The Health Ministry then screened 28 close contacts of the 3 Bangladeshis for COVID-19 and found that 12 other Bangladeshis also tested positive. Authorities are still investigating the source of the infection. On the cluster detected at a factory in Pedas, Negeri Sembilan, 28 new cases were detected. There are now a total of 88 cases in this cluster, with 81 of them being foreign workers from Nepal, Bangladesh, Indonesia and Myanmar. Meanwhile, Dr. Nur Hisham said another 65 cases have recovered and were discharged on Saturday, bringing the total number of recoveries to 4,929, or 74.8% of the total number of local infections. 54 new positive cases, including 45 involving foreigners, were also reported on Saturday, bringing the tally to 6,589. Out of the 54 new patients, 1 was an imported case. 3 of the new cases, Dr. Nur Hisham said, were from clusters and localities under the Enhanced Movement Control Order. He said another fatality was reported on Saturday, bringing the death toll to 108. The latest death was a 74-year-old man who had a history of autoimmune diseases, hypertension and thyroid issues. He had sought treatment on March 29th but died Friday night in the Malacca hospital. He was a close contact of local infection case number 1276, who is part of the Sri Petaling Tabligh gathering cluster. Meanwhile, it was a day off for Dr. Nur Hisham from the media on Saturday, but not from his other duties. On what is believed to be his first day off since December 2019, Dr. Nur Hisham and his team were given a day respite from the daily session by the Prime Minister's office. Despite not being on live television to update the public on the latest development of the COVID-19 pandemic, Dr. Nur Hisham nevertheless remained in touch with Malaysians with a post on his Facebook page thanking the frontliners for their dedication and hard work. Many netizens were also concerned about the well-being of Dr. Nur Hisham and had expressed that he deserves a rest. Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob on Saturday said he will raise the school bus fare issue with the Transport Ministry and said the Transport Minister will issue a detailed directive to school bus operators. Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri said school bus operators should not demand fees for services not rendered.
Jadi kalau tidak ada perkhidmatan, anak mereka masih bercuti, tidak ada sebab kenapa mereka perlu meminta ibu bapa untuk membayar. Jadi bas ini di bawah kementerian, mungkin di bawah kementerian pengangkutan lah.
Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri was commenting on claims that there had been cases where parents were asked to pay school bus fees either in full or half the normal rate. On some school teachers being recalled to work, Datuk Sri Ismail said the instructions came from the Education Ministry as they were required to make preparations concerning teaching and learning. He added teachers can contact the respective district education officers or the Education Ministry for further details. Meanwhile, Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri said the Ministry of Health is still in talks with the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development on the Standard Operating Procedures, or SOP, for childcare centres throughout the country. He said the move was important to safeguard the safety and health of children placed under the care of the premises.
Untuk menjaga keselamatan anak-anak yang berada di taska tersebut, pihak Kementerian Kesihatan akan mengeluarkan SOP akan berbincang dengan Kementerian Kebajikan Masyarakat untuk mengeluarkan SOP yang detail bagi memastikan keselamatan anak-anak yang berada di pusat taska tersebut.
Some nurseries have resumed operations since May 4th, which is the start of the conditional MCO. The Family and Community Development Ministry had also previously issued guidelines for the operation of nurseries. The Health Ministry on Friday had said there was no decision yet whether to allow childcare centres to reopen, although it had received many requests. Datuk Sri Ismail also said the government has come up with an SOP for congregational prayers, but it has yet to be finalised. On another issue, Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri said hotels that are used as quarantine centres can take action against individuals who damage their properties or facilities. He said no one is above the law, including those undergoing quarantine.
Jadi kalau mereka melanggar peraturan hotel dan sebagainya dari segi undang-undang, jadi terserah kepada pihak hotel untuk mengambil tindakan kepada mereka. Saya dengar ada yang merosakkan barangan di dalam bilik hotel, ada yang merosakkan cadar dan macam-macam yang saya dengar dari segi laporannya. Jadi hotel mempunyai kuasa untuk mengambil tindakan terhadap mereka.
Recently, pictures of a room of a hotel in Sarawak went viral on social media, supposedly damaged by an individual who was under mandatory quarantine there. The suspect, who had also started a fire at the hotel's lobby, was arrested by police on Friday and is currently undergoing quarantine at the Sarawak General Hospital, where he is also getting treatment for supposed mental health problems. In another development, Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri also announced that the COVID-19 Fund, launched on March 11th, has received 40.2 million ringgit in donations from various quarters as of May 7th. Most of the donations will be channeled to the people directly affected by the pandemic, namely through the special aid for loss of income and compassionate aid upon death. According to Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri, those undergoing COVID-19 treatment and those identified under contact tracing and instructed to undergo mandatory quarantine for 14 days will be given 100 ringgit a day. Those eligible to apply for the aid are Malaysian citizens who have lost their income while being placed under monitoring and surveillance or quarantine as compelled by the Health Ministry, and those who have lost their source of income or being denied salary while receiving treatment for COVID-19 at hospital wards. So far, a total of 125,700 ringgit has already been paid out to 94 individuals who have suffered loss of income. Some 355,000 ringgit has also been disbursed to 71 next of kin of those who died from the virus, with each receiving 5,000 ringgit from the fund. Datuk Ismail Sabri also revealed that a sum of 25.2 million ringgit has been channeled to the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development.
Sebanyak 25,229,105.44 sen pula telah pun disalurkan kepada Kementerian Pembangunan Wanita, Keluarga dan Masyarakat menerusi Yayasan Kebajikan Negara untuk bantuan kepada warga negara Malaysia yang memerlukan.
The government has approved a total of 2.3 million new applications and appeals for the Bantuan Prihatin Nasional VPN Cash Aid, involving a total payout of 1.7 billion ringgit. Finance Minister Datuk Seri Tengku Zafrul Abdul Aziz revealed the figure after the Inland Revenue Board (LHDN) completed its review on new applications and appeals for the one-off financial aid. In a statement on Saturday, he added that payment to those eligible for the BPN assistance will begin May 15th. He also said the public can check the status of their application and appeals at bpn.hasil.gov.my beginning Saturday. The total number of BPN recipients currently stands at 10.6 million, with a cumulative total disbursement of 11 billion ringgit following the approval of the new applications and appeals. The one-off cash payment was announced by Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin when he unveiled the Prihatin Rakyat Economic Stimulus Package on March 27th. The Employees Provident Fund, EPF, has approved withdrawals from account 2, totaling 1.66 billion ringgit by 3.5 million contributors under the I-Lestari initiative launched last month. According to Deputy Finance Minister 1, Dato' Abdul Rahim Bakri, the money would be credited into their bank accounts via electronic transfer between May 4th and 18th. Dato' Abdul Rahim said in a statement on Saturday that the initiative will inject liquidity of 3.3 billion ringgit per month on average into the local economy. He also added that the initiative was not only to help the people get disposable income, but also to create the market liquidity required by the retail sector, allow money to change hands, and create a multiplier effect on the country's economy. The COVID-19 pandemic had shrunk cash flow in the market after many people lost their sources of income. The I-Lestari withdrawal facility aims to ease the financial burden of EPF members by helping them meet their basic monthly financial needs during this challenging period. No Raya shopping frenzy this year. This and more after the breather. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The man believed to have been drunk when he crashed into a roadblock at the Kajang Selatan Toll Plaza, Kajang Seremban Expressway, lekas. Killing policeman Corporal Safwan Muhammad Ismail was remanded again for 3 days beginning Saturday. Selangor Criminal Investigation Department Chief ACP Datuk Fazil Ahmad said the remand order against the 44-year-old suspect was issued by the Kajang Magistrates Court. The case is currently being investigated under Section 304 of the Penal Code for causing death by negligence and Section 269 of the Penal Code for a negligent act likely to spread infection of any disease dangerous to life. The suspect was earlier remanded for 4 days beginning May 4th for investigation under Section 41, subsection 1 of the Road Transport Act, but was re-arrested after his remand ended on Friday. In a 2 a.m. incident on May 3rd, Corporal Safwan, 31, who was attached to the Kajang District Police Headquarters, was pronounced dead at the scene due to severe injuries to his body and head after being hit by the Toyota Hilux, driven by the suspect, who is believed to have been driving while intoxicated. A 47-year-old man who went missing after falling into Sungai Jelai in Lipis, Pahang 2 days ago was found drowned in the river on Saturday, some 8 kilometres from the spot he was last seen. Police said the search and recovery SAR operations team spotted the body floating near Kuala Kechau at 8:45 a.m. Lipis District Council worker Asri Soleh was believed to have slipped and fallen into the river before he was swept away by strong currents at around 12:30 p.m. on Thursday. The incident happened while he was cleaning his boat at Kampung Tanjung Jati. His family lodged a police report the same day after failing to locate him 2 hours later.
Adik-beradik mangsa pergi mencari mangsa dan kelihatan terdapat runtuhan tanah di belakang rumah berhampiran dengan sungai di mana 2 biji bot diikat berhampiran dengan lokasi runtuhan tersebut. Bot ini adalah kepunyaan ahli keluarga mangsa. Sebuah bot dipercayai hanyut dan lagi sebuah didapati telah terbalik. Orang awam menterbalikkan semula bot tersebut dan menjumpai sebelah selipar kepunyaan mangsa.
The body was fished out and transported to the riverbank by rescuers at about 9:30 a.m. and sent to the Kuala Lipis Hospital for post-mortem. Over in Sarawak, it was a close shave for 2 pilots and their 2 passengers when the light passenger plane they were travelling in skidded off a runway this morning. Mulu State Assemblyman Datuk Garawat Gala posted on his Facebook page that the incident occurred at the short takeoff and landing airport in Long Seridan at about 10 a.m. Fortunately, no one was injured after the DHC-6 Twin Otter aircraft, which belonged to Mars Wings, skidded into a ditch shortly after it landed from Marudi. It was believed that the runway pavement was wet and slippery after it had rained earlier. Investigation into the incident by the relevant authorities is still ongoing. As per our teaser, the excitement for the Hari Raya shopping frenzy in the city has faded away this year amid the COVID-19 pandemic. This as many businesses, especially at Jalan Tunku Abdul Rahman, were forced to shutter operations due to the lack of customers. Previously, during the Aidilfitri festive period, these brick-and-mortar stores along the shopping street would be packed with shoppers haggling for deals on clothes, curtains, decoration, raya cookies and many more. However, the usual crowd have been absent since the Movement Control Order, MCO, was enforced back in March as coronavirus infections hit the country. Although the MCO has been relaxed since Monday, with many economic sectors allowed to resume operations, the festive atmosphere was still lacking, even as the Aidilfitri celebration approaches in about 2 weeks. According to the traders, they reopened their shops since Wednesday, but the number of customers have dropped significantly, up to 90% compared to previous years, which is taking a heavy toll on their source of income.
Kalau yang terdahulu, kalau time macam ni, kita memang tak ada relax lah. Kita lain customer ramai. Kalau sekarang ni, awak tengoklah macam ni. Bismillah pun belum kedai kami lagi.
Tahun lepas memang meriah. Kalau time macam hari ni, hari Sabtu memang dah penuh orang lah. Ramai yang beli baju kurung, jubah. Tapi beza dengan tahun ni.
Some of the shop owners also said that they used to rake in up to 5,000 ringgit in revenue daily during the Ramadan month, but now they could not even earn 50 ringgit per day. As for customers, although they don't have to shop in a hurry or be in stores cramped full of other shoppers, the atmosphere doesn't feel lively or like Hari Raya to them.
Biasalah sebab PKP kan. Memang kedai buka, tapi banyak stok lama lah. Stok baru tak ada sangat lah.
Tahun ni memang banyak kurang. Kalau kat Sogo biasanya kat bawah tu penuh orang. Sekarang tak ada, lengang.
For some traders, although this year feels less festive and more challenging, they have embraced the new normal by taking their business online. Others have innovated by changing their products to suit the needs of the public during this pandemic. Next on Nightline, Russia records more than 10,000 new coronavirus cases. Stay tuned. We're back with news on the foreign front. Russia completed a week of more than 10,000 new coronavirus cases per day on Saturday, after a total of 10,817 people were tested positive for the past 24 hours, which saw the total confirmed number of cases jump to 198,676. According to its COVID-19 task force, a total of 104 more people died overnight, bringing the total death toll to 1,827. However, the nation also reported its highest single-day tally of recoveries so far, after 5,308 patients were discharged from hospitals, taking the total number of recoveries in the country to 31,916. So far, some 242,000 suspected coronavirus patients remain under medical surveillance. Despite rather tough measures, which include a lockdown in the capital, Moscow, a ban on entry of foreigners, and suspension of international air and railway traffic, Russia is now the 5th worst-hit country in the pandemic. Over in Singapore on Saturday, it saw a drop in its daily tally of new coronavirus cases as the city-state reported 753 new cases, taking the country's total to 22,460. According to its health ministry's preliminary data, only 9 of the new cases are Singaporeans or permanent residents, while the rest are foreign workers at dormitories. Singapore, which is ramping up coronavirus testing to 40,000 a day, has so far classified 1,272 cases as community transmissions, 579 as imported, and 624 as foreign workers staying outside dorms. According to detailed data issued on Friday, foreign workers at dorms dominated Friday's tally of 21,707, comprising 88.5% or 19,232 cases. The Republic also identified 5 new clusters as of Friday, with its largest cluster, S11 dormitory at Punggol, having 2,535 confirmed cases. Meanwhile, Indonesia reported on Saturday 533 new coronavirus infections, the biggest daily increase, taking the total number to 13,645. According to a health ministry official, Ahmad Yurianto, 16 more people have died from the disease, bringing the total number of deaths to 959, while 2,607 have recovered. Yurianto also added that nearly 108,700 people have been tested as of Saturday, and about 29,690 patients are still under surveillance for COVID-19. In the meantime, Thailand reported 4 new cases and 1 more death, bringing the cumulative figure to 3,004 and 56 deaths. The latest fatality was a 68-year-old Thai man from Bangkok, diagnosed with the deadly virus in the middle of March, and his condition was worsened with kidney failure and a blood infection. Of the 4 new cases, 2 were from the southern province of Yala, involving a 41-year-old Thai woman and a 44-year-old Thai man, while another 2 cases were a 36-year-old Thai woman who had close contact with previous confirmed cases and a 28-year-old Thai woman in Phuket. Over in Europe, Spanish health authorities on Saturday confirmed drops in both the daily numbers of new COVID-19 deaths and cases. The total number of deaths in Spain rose to 26,478 after 179 more people had died in the last 24-hour period, compared with 229 deaths registered in the previous 24-hour span. There was also a drop in the number of new coronavirus cases, as figures showed Spain reported 604 new infections, well down from the 1,095 cases reported in the previous 24-hour span, to take the total number of confirmed cases to 223,578. We now take a quick look at the highlights in Malaysia's main newspapers for Sunday, May 10th. The New Sunday Times underlines calls from the experts stressing that the movement control order should be extended beyond May 12th. The nation's best-selling Malay newspaper, Harian Metro, meanwhile, features a unique story on how elephants have helped to deliver special aid to Orang Asli residents in Pahang during the MCO. Finally, good news regarding the government's approval of 2.3 million VPN applications gets the front page of Berita Harian. Do get your copies today or subscribe to the e-paper versions. Looks like that's it for Nightline this time around. In Russia, scores of military aircraft fly over Moscow and the Red Square as the nation marks the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II. Let's have a look. I'm Anita Room. With that, thank you for tuning in. And to all Muslim viewers, Selamat Bersahur. Be well.